Ajete, the second Mankralo and acting president of the Tema Traditional Council. Niofusu Obli, the fifth Mankralo of Katamanso Traditional Area, and all our traditional leaders who are here with us. The Honorable Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapor, senior government officials present, Chairman of the Board of Tema Oil Refinery, Honorable Nayom Bilijo, and your board members, Managing Director of Tema Oil Refinery, Edmond Combat, and your staff and workers of the refinery, members of the diplomatic corps, captains of industry, members of the clergy, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say how happy and gratified I am to be here today. Our poet painted a picture of this refinery, and she said, dust had promoted itself into management. That was a very sad image of the refinery at the time. Dust had promoted itself into management. Today, I'm happy that dust has been relegated to dust. We stand in the vision of our first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Indeed, to him belongs the vision, because as far back as our post-colonial period, he had a vision that Ghana needed an industry like the Tema Oil Refinery. And so he commissioned it in 1963. At that time, it was called Ghana Italian Petroleum Company, GAIP. It was not until 1977 that Ghana took over 100% the shares of this refinery. Since then, its history has been checkered. It has had periods of glory, it has had periods of downturn. And if you look at the story of Tor, it reinforced a certain perception that state-owned enterprises could not operate, and that the only way a state-owned enterprise could survive was to be sold off to the private sector. Tor has disproved that theory. Because as the minister told you, if not for the bravery of the workers and their resistance, this edifice here, this refined strategic national asset here, would have been leased out for 15 years for $22 million. But today, to the glory of God, a very determined management and board, very talented and efficient workers, working with strategic partners, has turned the fortunes of this refinery around. And I must say that this has been done without a single CD from the government of Ghana. Tor has achieved all this on their own. Government has not bailed them out. We haven't put a single CD into this rebound. And so I want to commend the board and chairman. I want to commend the management, Edmond Combat and his team, to commend the minister, Honorable Jinapor, and the ministry for a fantastic job done. Well done, Aiko. So today is more than just the commissioning of refurbished refinery units at Tor, and it's more than just the receipt of another cargo of Ghanaian crude oil. It is above all a declaration of purpose. We're gathered here to celebrate something much greater than just the machines and equipment, pipelines and storage tanks. We're here to celebrate the resilience of a nation that refuses to surrender its strategic assets to decay and decline. We're here to affirm that Ghana possesses not only the natural resources, but also the determination, the expertise, and the vision to transform those resources into lasting prosperity for our people. Every generation is confronted with defining choices. Some choose the easier path of abandoning institutions when they fall into difficulty. Others choose the more demanding path of rebuilding them, restoring confidence, renewing hope, and preparing them to serve future generations yet unborn. Ours has been to deliberately choose the second path. That is the essence of what we call the reset agenda. Reset is not merely about changing policies. It is about restoring confidence in our country, restoring confidence in our people. It is about rebuilding institutions that once symbolized Ghana's industrial ambition. It is about proving that disciplined leadership, competent management, and a shared national vision can revive even those institutions that many had given up on. When our poet spoke, she said as a child, she used to see the fire burning on top of the stack here in Tor. I just wish to assure her that she won't see that fire again because it was gas that was being flared. Today, Tor is converting that gas into energy to run the refinery. So if you don't see the fire, it doesn't mean Tor is not working. It's working more efficiently than it did before. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure for me to return to Tema Oil Refinery, but I must confess that this visit is especially meaningful to me. There's something profoundly inspiring about seeing these furnaces burning again, about hearing the hum of production, and about watching Ghanaian engineers, technicians, and workers once more doing what they have always demonstrated they can do with excellence. A functioning refinery represents more than just industrial capacity. It represents confidence, it represents jobs, it represents technological capability, it represents energy security, and above all, it represents a nation's determination to control more of its own economic destiny. History reminds us that no country has achieved sustainable industrial transformation by just exporting raw materials, while importing most of the finished products that it consumes. Nations become prosperous by adding value to what they produce, by developing local industries, and by creating opportunities for their own people. That was the vision that inspired our first president to establish the Tema Oil Refinery more than 6 decades ago. It remains just as relevant today as Ghana seeks to build a stronger, more competitive, and more self-reliant economy. Nearly 10 years ago today, towards the end of my first administration, I had the privilege of witnessing something similar, the arrival of Ghana's first cargo of indigenous Jubilee crude for refining at this very Tema Oil Refinery. We announced it with a sense of pride. It was a proud moment for our country because it demonstrated that Ghana was capable of connecting its petroleum resources to its domestic industrial production. That achievement represented an important milestone in our national development journey, and it affirmed a simple but powerful principle that Ghanaian resources should create Ghanaian value, Ghanaian jobs, and Ghanaian prosperity. Unfortunately, the years that followed presented significant difficulties. Our first parcel of Jubilee crude that was delivered with such pride was discounted and sold under very opaque conditions. Production at the refinery slowed, operations ceased, debt accumulated, confidence of workers and staff declined, and many came to the belief that Tema Oil Refinery had become an antique relic of the past, an institution whose best days were behind it. Some even suggested that Ghana should abandon refining crude altogether and depend permanently on imported petroleum products. Our government refused to accept that position. Because nations that aspire to greatness do not abandon strategic institutions like TOR whenever adversity strikes. What they do is they reform them, they modernize them, they restore them, and they prepare them to compete again. That conviction informed the commitment I made to the people of Ghana. I pledged that Tema Oil Refinery would work again, not as a symbol of nostalgia, but a catalyst of Ghana's industrial transformation. And that is why I was proud to announce on the floor of the August House Parliament that TOR is back. Promise made, promise fulfilled. Today, I stand before you proud to say that that promise that was made has been fulfilled. Leadership ultimately is not measured by the number of promises made, but by the number of promises that are kept. When I assumed office, I was under no illusion about the scale of the challenge before us. Tema Oil Refinery had endured years of operational difficulties. Production had stalled, debts had mounted, critical equipment had deteriorated, and public confidence had been severely eroded. For many Ghanaians, TOR had become a symbol of unrealized potential. And yet, we saw TOR in a different light. We saw an institution worth saving. We saw a strategic national asset that could once again become a pillar of Ghana's energy security and industrial development. Above all, we saw the extraordinary expertise and dedication of Ghanaian men and women who had never lost faith in this refinery, even during its most difficult days. We therefore made a deliberate choice not to abandon TOR, but to restore it back to its former glory. So on 19 December 2025, that decision began to bear fruit when Tema Oil Refinery resumed refining operations. That day marked more than just the restart of a refinery. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in Ghana's industrial history, a chapter defined by confidence, resilience, and purposeful leadership. And as I stated before I started my speech, let me state again that whatever TOR has achieved in this success story has been without a single cedi from the government of Ghana. Today, that journey has gathered remarkable momentum. Since May this year, Tema Oil Refinery has successfully received 3 separate 1 million barrel cargoes of crude oil, one Bonga oil, another from the Baling field, and most significantly recently, Ghana's own Jubilee medium sweet crude. And I wish to state again that TOR fully paid for the Ghanaian crude. It was not given to TOR on credit. TOR has fully paid for the crude. This represents a clear statement of government's commitment to ensuring that our petroleum resources increase value and create value here at home. Of these deliveries, the refinery has already processed 2 million barrels into a wide range of refined petroleum products, including gasoline, gas oil, aviation turbine kerosene, liquefied petroleum gas, kerosene, residual fuel oil, and pre-mixed fuel. This is tangible evidence that TOR is steadily reclaiming its space at the center of Ghana's downstream petroleum industry. Today's commissioning of the refurbished refining units marks another significant milestone in that recovery. And let me also draw attention to something. For almost 7 months now, there has been a war ongoing in the Gulf between Iran, Israel, and America. That war has caused disruption in many parts of the world. In many countries, people are having to queue for fuel. In many countries, the price of fuel has risen astronomically. In many countries, their economies are affected by the current war. I must say that because of the role of TOR and in refining local crude and making sure that petroleum products are available on the market, Ghanaians have hardly felt the effects of the war that is going on in Iran. And so once again, I say, Tor Ayiko. Ghanaians are grateful to you. The rehabilitation of the CDU, the restoration of the residual fluid catalytic cracking unit, the installation of the new F-61 crude heater, and the return of boiler number 8 to service represent much more than simple engineering achievements. They represent renewed confidence in Ghana's industrial capability and our determination to invest in infrastructure that serves generations yet unborn. Every investment made here strengthens our national resilience. Every improvement in refining capacity reduces our dependence on imported petroleum products. And every increase in operational efficiency conserves valuable foreign exchange. That is why today's events matter. It is not simply about restoring machinery, it is about restoring national capability and national pride. It's about demonstrating that when government provides clear leadership, when boards exercise responsible oversight, when management embraces professionalism, and when workers dedicate themselves to excellence, institutions once considered distressed can become agents of national transformation. Our vision for Tema Refinery extends far beyond the successful refurbishment of these facilities. We do not intend merely to keep TOR operating. We intend to make TOR more competitive. We intend to make TOR more efficient, and we intend to make TOR more commercially viable. Indeed, we intend to position it as a strategic driver of Ghana's industrial future. That is why today's ceremony should not be viewed as the end of the restoration program. Rather, it marks the beginning of a much bigger national ambition to build an integrated petroleum industry that serves our domestic economy, supports regional trade, and contributes meaningfully to Africa's industrial renaissance. In this regard, I'm pleased to announce that I've directed the Minister of Energy and Green Transitions to work with the board and management of TOR to present government with a strategic plan to expand the capacity of the refinery to 100,000 barrels a day. We will also restructure the Tema Oil Refinery in order that we permanently eliminate political interference in its work. 24-hour economy is coming. Thank you. That ambition is entirely consistent with our government's broader economic transformation agenda. As we implement the 24-hour economy initiative and the accelerated export development program, institutions such as TOR will play an increasingly central role in expanding industrial production, supporting manufacturing, creating quality jobs, and strengthening Ghana's competitiveness within the African Continental Free Trade Area. And I was very happy when the Managing Director, Edmond Combat, indicated that TOR is operating 24-hour already. Government is working on the incentives for enterprises that are running 24-hour shifts. We're going to give you incentives in terms of tax breaks, in terms of energy tariffs. But more importantly, when you import capital goods for plant expansion or installation of new plants, will allow you to bring it in tax and duty free. Thank you. So TOR's success is not just the success of a petroleum refinery, it is a success of Ghana's determination to move beyond the export of raw materials and towards an economy that is built on value addition, innovation, and industrial excellence. Our work does not end with restoring Tor. Our vision is to transform Ghana into West Africa's leading petroleum refining, storage, and logistics hub, adding value to our natural resources, creating jobs, strengthening energy security, and driving industrial growth. There's also the plan to expand the SBM so that you can offload more products efficiently and quickly than the current SBM operation is having. So at this juncture, I commend the board chaired by Mr. Nayong Bilijo. I commend management led by Edmond Combat. I commend the staff. I commend the Minister of Energy and Green Transitions and his team. I commend our strategic partners, Fujairah Oil and Gas and Transitions Group. Is it Transitions? Triangle Group, yes. And Triangle Group. And every Ghanaian whose dedication has made this achievement possible. Your professionalism, resilience, and belief in this national institution has restored confidence in one of Ghana's most strategic assets. So today's ceremony is about more than a refinery. It's a testament to what leadership can do, what sound governance and national determination can achieve. The revival of Tema Oil Refinery demonstrates that Ghana can rebuild its strategic institutions, add value to its resources, and chart a path towards sustainable prosperity. It's another important milestone in our reset agenda and a powerful reminder that our nation's best days lie ahead of us. It is therefore my singular honor to declare commissioned the rehabilitated refining facilities of Tema Oil Refinery and to commemorate the successful receipt and processing of 1 million barrels of indigenous Ghanaian Jubilee medium sweet crude. May these facilities continue to power Ghana's industrial reform and contribute to a stronger, more prosperous and self-reliant nation. May God bless the workers of Tema Oil Refinery. May God bless the management of Tema Oil Refinery. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you. It's working. Your Excellency, you can see from the cheers from the crowd that they are very happy you are here. And as the minister said, and it is also my belief, what is happening today is as a result of purposeful leadership. What is happening today is proof that with the right leadership, state-owned enterprises can be run successfully. So, Your Excellency, the board, management, and staff of Tema Oil Refinery Limited wish to present this commemorative plaque to you for the excellent work you have done for Ghana and Tor.
Bus. The board members, our CEOs, you'll be joining the second bus. The media will be in the third bus and take the lead. And so please start joining the bus on your right, and then we'll join you soon. Thank you very much. Please, the anthem.
Let
Imam Shaibu, please forgive us. You'll be saying your prayers later. Just a few are joining His Excellency. The other buses are on the other side. Not everybody will be on the bus. He said, don't worry. We'll wait, don't worry. The board will be in the second bus. Please. Yes. You are, so that's the last. We are done. Second bus. My food.